No, it was like I was literally like, and I remember like the moment I was in Kabul, and there was like helicopters in the distance, Apaches and whatnot,
right.
and then like like Kalashnikovs
Like,
sounds, and I was like on a computer just like making beats, and I thought, why don't you just like, do that as a as a job? It was top of the wish list for me to do it on Dirtybird, and then COVID happened, and then things shifted around. Basically, like 2 years ago, I had just a conversation with the label manager Darren, about maybe moving to San Francisco, and I asked him whether they have a studio that I could use when I'm there, because I'm traveling around so much. I currently don't have really a studio that is mine, but they have a very nice facility now. So I was like, oh yeah, can I use it? And he was like, jokingly, he said, yeah, but you would have to make an album for us. And I was like, all right.
I've already wanted to do an album.
I've been wanting to do that anyway.
It's Powertools, and we got Sacha Robotti in the house. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me on after, 10 years?
Yeah, it's been 10 years. It's good to have you back in.
Yep. Thank
you. Man, you just dropped an amazing album, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, you've had like releases on Defected, Dynamic, Get Physical, Nervous, Realm, Sweat It Out. You've played almost every festival from Coachella to Crossfest to Burning Man. Let's go back to the beginning of Sacha Robotti to just have an understanding of your DNA. How did you fall in love with dance music? What was that entry point for you?
It was mostly the community aspect, I think. I grew up in Belgium, in Brussels, Belgium. And Belgium had has still, I think, a really great electronic music scene. And I think because it's also between, a few other countries with other great music scenes, Germany, Holland, or the Netherlands, France.
There was a lot of techno coming out of Brussels back then.
A lot of techno.
A lot of labels, right?
A lot of labels, I guess like more like underground stuff. But it was like a vinyl. Me and my homies just started collecting vinyl and going to these like record stores and secondhand, like, I don't know, basements, pop-ups where people would just like sell records. So we would like collect those. And
you're collecting them not necessarily to DJ yet. You're just collecting vinyl to just just to play.
Kind of to play with, among the community. We had a little community. We had a little room in like a church. Like German, what do you call it? I don't know how you call it. Like
it was like in a basement, right?
Yeah. And so they were like, you can have that room. And so we just like did graffiti in there, bought some JBL turntables, and started just playing records. And that was like around 95. And that was I just loved it so much.
What were some of the records you were playing? Do you remember any of those records back then?
Anything by Jeff Mills, any Dance Mania records, anything out of Detroit, any underground Resistance,
Wow.
But also like stuff from we had this club called Fuse, Fuse Brussels, and Dave Clark was the resident.
That's crazy.
I was like a diehard fan of Dave Clark, and there was this radio show like you're doing here weekly, and you could call in for tickets, and I think I was the only one who called in because I got tickets every weekend, to go to Fuse or Food Club.
And when you're going to Fuse, how old are you at this point?
Like 15, 16.
Oh, so you're going just as a kid, soaking it all in.
Yeah, just like, oh my God, and it was not even about, drugs or anything.
Right.
We were just like sober, me and my homies, maybe some weed. But it was just, just the love for this kind of music.
Right.
Like Green Velvet,
right.
That Sound, Felix the House Cat, all these like
Legends
Claude
coming
Young,
through. Right.
all
Okay.
these legendary,
Right.
and Sven Fett,
Right.
Mistress Barbara, all these.
So when
like,
you're seeing these DJs, then you get the kind of the bug, like I want to do what they're doing.
yeah,
Right.
right. So I like, but I didn't think it was a viable career or anything. I just
It was
loved,
a hobby at the beginning.
Yeah, it was a hobby. I
For
just
all of
loved
us,
doing
yeah.
it, and that was how I started, and then I started architecture, went to Edinburgh, Scotland to study that, and continued spending like all my time in record stores
In Scotland.
in
That's
Scotland.
crazy. Right.
Yeah, and there I then I threw a party in like '98 or something, my first party, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It was very eclectic, different sounds, and then I took part in this DJ competition, like a Vestax DJ competition, and I won it. And I was like, oh, maybe this could actually be something that I'm good at, and maybe I should just do that, But it took like 5 years.
When you won the contest, what type of music were you playing?
Techno, like Dance Mania.
Right.
DJ Funk.
Right, DJ Funk, banging
scratching.
it out. Robert Armani.
Robert Armani, Circus Bells.
Yeah.
I think I actually played that, or like some version of that. And Green Velvet, and just techno. I was into this like funky techno with, I guess, like curse words.
So, but also when you were younger too, I mean, you were also like a really good cello player.
Oh yeah,
right?
I mean,
you're like almost professional. So,
yeah, I thought about doing that. Also as a career path. My sister is a pianist,
right?
So, and she's a professor now, piano professor in Germany. And just hearing her play the piano like 6 hours a day,
right,
kind of spawned me to want to play my own instrument, and so I got like really good at that, but I really didn't like practicing, so it was more like a prodigy type situation. I was really good without practicing a lot,
right,
and at some point I just I discovered electronic music and then stopped playing the cello.
So you turned in the cello for some turntables.
Correct.
And then at what point were you were also kind of a graffiti artist?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, it was another hobby.
Right.
It was like it was a fun thing that we used to do, more or less. Not trying to vandalize anything. We would search for spots that were, that nobody cared really. Right. So like that was another thing. Like art, music.
Kind of went hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Yeah,
Right.
That's why I did. Then I was like, okay, maybe architecture is a good thing for me to do.
And the parents were happy with that at that
Parents
point.
were happy with that, of course. Yeah. Like, hey, Dad, I want to be a graffiti artist. I want to be a DJ. That conversation came later.
Right.
After I had studied already like 5 years or 6 years or something. I was in Berlin.
And when was that moment that you decided to give up the architect career and dive full in and try to give this a shot?
That was actually when I was in Afghanistan.
Wow.
I was working as an architect in 2005, 2006.
In Afghanistan?
Yeah, I was like doing reconstruction work, I suppose, is what you call it, for the EU.
Right.
They had like a big budget for reconstructing the, in that case, it was the border station to Pakistan, and that was our building site. And so I knew the architects who worked for these guys, and I applied for an internship, and I did that. Then for 6 months I spent time there. It was pretty crazy.
I can imagine.
Time for sure. Just me and the architect and a driver and like an unmarked Land Cruiser or something like that, like a Forerunner, tinted windows.
So this decision wasn't that hard to.
No,
to-
it was
to
like
go
I was
ahead.
literally like, and I remember like the moment I was in Kabul, and it was like helicopters in the distance, Apaches and whatnot,
right.
and then like like Kalashnikovs
You're like,
sounds, and I was like on a computer just like making beats, and I thought, why don't you just like do that as a as a job? And then I literally from Afghanistan I applied for like a sound design course master at the University of the Arts in Berlin, and they took me, and then I just started studying that as a.
Did you then move to Berlin?
Yeah, I
Okay.
moved to Berlin. I was
Nice.
already in Berlin since like 2001 maybe,
Right.
and I was continuing to study architecture and DJing for myself, kind of as a hobby. And I had met my buddy Cord, who then I formed Robosonic with. That was this like crew, I guess, duo.
Right.
Me and him and me. I just came back, and it was like a decision. Okay, now all the money that you're ever going to make is going to have to be with music or music related.
Right. Right.
And so I don't know if that was a smart decision, honestly, money financially, but it definitely took me like I had to. It compelled me to work really hard and to have to make it work.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
That's amazing. The way you're hopping around from different countries. That's crazy, man. And then. You spent a good time in Berlin, really soaking up the Berlin scene. And when you started coming out, it was kind of like when Berlin was starting to, that wave of house music was kind of coming out, right? Like I think like Purple Disco Machine. There was a couple of you guys that were starting to make noise at the same time.
Yeah, and they're all homies. Like
Right.
Tino, Purple Disco Machine, shout outs,
Right.
We were all more or less also Kevin Knapp.
Claptone at the same time, I think.
Claptone, Adana Twins, and there was this wave of like deep house, they called it. I don't know if it really was deep house, but someone coined it that. So that was, the deep house from Berlin. And there was this label. There were 3 labels, I guess. There was Exploited, or 2 labels mainly for that sound, Exploited and Off Recordings. And it was like either you were on that label or on that label. And I was on Off Recordings with Cord with Robosonic. Kevin Knapp was on that. Purple Disco Machine, his first big record was on that. And there was a time in like 2012, I think, where everything that they put out went charted on Beatport. It was just like top 10 was like 7 Off Recordings tracks. It was crazy.
That's when the Beatport had their Berlin office too at the same time.
I think so.
Yeah. They had
I
a
think
real yes, without a doubt.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man. And then what's crazy is that you just dropped this is your first album.
First album, yeah.
That's incredible. It's called Robotti. It's coming out on Dirtybird, and you got 22 tracks on your album.
Yeah.
I'm he put out his first album. He went, let's go.
I'm going to put everything on
I'm going to put everything on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And, when I was listening to it, it's like, it feels raw. It feels underground.
Thank you.
Some really cool collabs with like Gene Ferris, Lucas Froda, DJ Rap. The one song I want to key in on is Words, and that's with Perry Farrell.
Right.
And that's a sick tune.
Thank you.
Such a legendary voice. Talk to us about the inspiration behind that record, how that collab came about.
The collab came about when my very good friend and mentor, you could call him, Mark Bell, he basically records Perry Farrell for his new album.
Okay.
Perry Farrell is doing an album. I don't know how long that's gonna take or what exactly is gonna be on it, but so he's basically recording all that, and all his works, and this tune words,
Right.
happened during one of those sessions that he recorded with him. And I heard it and thought it was really, truly amazing. And then he kind of gifted me that. It was like, you can do something with that, use it for your album,
That's a great blessing.
Yeah, truly, like, Mark,
Right.
thank you for that. And I met Perry recently also. Such a sweet guy. And what an inspiration
Yeah.
for LA and
Yes.
for electronic music as well, and for
Right.
psychedelic rock
Right.
and festival.
Yeah. Legendary.
Life.
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
Everything he's touched has been
Yeah.
really, really cool, man.
Yeah.
I guess my next question is, at this point, you've been producing such amazing records. What made you take the album journey? Like, I'm going to do an album. What inspired that?
I've been wanting to do that for a minute, honestly, or for years. And, I guess I was thinking about it, when I came to the States even.
Right.
I thought it would be cool to make an album at some point, and that was, 2015, 2016.
Right.
And then I had my journey with, Dirtybird, and it was like a wish list.
Right.
It was top of the wish list for me to do it on Dirtybird, and then COVID happened, and then things shifted around, and basically like 2 years ago, I had just a conversation with the label manager Darren Delgado. Shout outs to Darren, about maybe moving to San Francisco, and I asked him whether they have a studio that I could use when I'm there, because I'm traveling around so much. I currently don't have really a studio that is mine. So I just work on a laptop. But they have a very nice facility now at Empire, Dirtybird Empire. And so I was like, oh yeah, can I use it? And he was like, jokingly, he said, yeah, but you would have to make an album for us. And I was like, all right.
I've already wanted to do an album.
I've been wanting to do that anyway. And so we talked about it, and it kind of materialized. And last year we, signed contract, and I've been working on new things, but also old, like just not old things, but just like records that I've been playing, sitting on, but also just playing and not really sure what to do with them. And so this was a great opportunity to put together this playlist, track list, this concept, I guess, of the album.
Right.
Yeah.
And why 22 songs? Is there a number 22 that these are all the songs I love?
Yeah, it just turned out like that. Yeah. I thought, should I select some, or should I? And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna release all of them, and just the next album is gonna be all new things. Then that I'm gonna work on.
Just kind of put them all out, because they're all solid. Then they're all really, really good. My favorite song on the album, or one of my favorite songs on the album, is "Boom Boom Killer."
Oh yeah,
that's really good with
I'm
Tyler
glad you like
Hill and Bodacious Thing. It has that raw '90s vibe.
Thank you.
The hook on the drop, like, it's just really, really good.
I love that song. I love that song.
Talk to us about the inspiration of "Boom Boom Killer."
So Tyler Hill, who he's Canadian, I think, or he lives in Canada, and I heard the first time I heard of him was with the record collab with Macioplex that he did called Nasty.
Right.
And I was just like, what is that? Like when I listened to it and when I played it, it's just like such a, like, I don't know, it was such a dirty song track, and the bass is really substantial on that, and just the lyrics and everything is kind of awesome. I just really love that track, and so I just like hit him up, and my buddy Sion, who I do Third Culture with, he was working on something with him, and then we started working on something together as Third Culture, and at some point Tyler also just sent me a layout of Pum Pum Killa and was like, "Hey man, do you wanna work on that?" And
did it have the vocal on it already?
it had the guy vocals and like a female vocal that I thought my girl Cheyenne Bodacious thing, shoutouts Bodacious thing, could do something really cool on it. Right. She has an amazing voice, and she writes really cool and just very fast also. And so she wrote that and recorded it and sent it to me, and then I kind of laced it in there and dubbed it out a little because it was like a lot of different vocals, different takes, and kind of tried to make it sound like it's a live, like kind of live recording of a party, dance hall, house. I don't know. But, it reminds me of Basement Jacks a little bit.
Absolutely.
And just 90s vibe. I love Basement Jacks.
Awesome. Basement Jacks is one of my favorite. They're
so good. They're so good.
Is that your sister playing piano on the Doonjet interlude?
Yeah, right.
Wow,
Yep,
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm really stoked. I wanted to do something with her. She's like super classical.
Right.
So like we never managed to do any collabs. Together, like house and piano or something, but I asked her to send me some recordings, and so she has a really nice Steinway, and so she hooked up a few mics and recorded some accompaniment things that we used to play. Like she
when
would
you were a kid.
be on a piano, and I would be on a cello. And so that's Dvorak, let's call it, cello concerto, Dvorak that she's playing, and I just made it like a robotic intermission kind of thing.
Dope. That's really, really cool to have your sister in it.
Right.
I want to talk to you because, like, you're one of the people that one of the artists that I know the word underground gets thrown around a lot, and everybody's like, that word is being used a lot, and I want to get your opinion on it, because electronic music is like a $13 billion global business industry. I mean, is the word underground still relevant, and is there still an underground culture in your opinion, with dance being so big?
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think it's there. I'm sure there is in certain countries, cities, environments. But I think ever since this, I think I don't know. It's like it's more like an attitude now, Right. Because I feel the especially the techno and the house and everything started as something that was not meant to be for the masses. Really, it was more like something that we would go, as you know very well, right, as DJ, from back in the day, also, that we would hide from the establishment, and it was kind of considered weird, and I was laughed at also in university for playing records and techno and blah blah. And in the meantime, the technology developed in such a way that that social media infiltrated everything, and there's no way of hiding it really anymore, and everybody now realized how cool it is, or how awesome house music and techno music is, and then obviously, since we're in America, capitalism is king, so big companies saw that you can make money with it in whatever regards, be it writing techno on a t-shirt and selling that, which was kind of still, to me, is weird.
But no, you have a good point. There can't be a true underground if there's a bunch of phones in it at
I
the
believe
party.
so. Yeah.
So the only way you can really have a true underground scene is you have to eliminate the phones at and that's kind of hard. People want that memory.
Yeah.
You want that memory, you know. But
I want it too.
Yeah,
I
as a
take
DJ,
photos
yes,
as well.
yes.
You know? So
you want that memory. But that's very interesting point of view. You would have to eliminate that and let it just live in that space and time.
Yeah. And it's more like, now I feel it's more like a performative thing,
right,
than truly being in a moment. You know, I didn't get into techno house and all this to be a cool guy standing on a stage,
right,
you know, but because I loved it,
right,
and because of the community, and because I loved the sound, and because, you know, and now it is a vehicle to be socially cool,
right,
kind of, right? So it's like a very different it's not out of necessity of people, you know, queer minorities, black people, white people, Mexican, you know, Latino, mix everybody in one room and having a collective time together. But it's you know, that's why you see videos now on the socials with people filming it, you know, and it's just like not about that for me, really.
Right. Are you a fan of the no phone parties?
Sure.
Right.
I mean, I wish it was like this everywhere, but I don't think it's enforceable, really.
No, not on a big scale.
No,
there's no
but
way.
The idea is cool,
right?
And you know, many clubs where I was in Berlin, for instance, many clubs don't want phones. They take your phone and put a sticker front and back, so you don't, you know, you leave people alone in their environment where they do whatever
they want to do.
Whatever they want to do.
Right. Getting back to the album, I really love the indie dance song on the album, The Greys.
Oh yeah.
With Neil Cologne, I think that's how you said
Coulon,
the name.
I think. Coulon.
And that's probably the one song on the album that isn't necessarily made for the dance floor, but it is amazing. Thanks. Talk to us about the inspiration of that song.
Well, once again, it was like it started with an artist coming to me / Mark and me, with these amazing vocal recordings and parts. And I just kind of put it together and made it my own,
right?
As a dance floor interpretation, I suppose. And the song talks about an alien encounter, and it's pretty funny. I love these kind of like around 2005, 2006, 7. 6, 7. There were these like electro rock house edits and stuff. Like Boys Noise had some.
Boys Noise
put some on vinyl.
There was a song, I can't remember the artist. I Like the Way You Move.
I like the way you move.
Yeah.
I used to play that.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
Right.
And the Chief Schwartz remixes of all these tracks, and it's kind of like I wanted to make something that's kind of in that vein, like with that song, and I mean, I love how it turned out.
It's a vibe.
It's called Robotti,
right?
Like it's about me, right? Robotti, but essentially it's like a lot of collabs,
right?
And
you even do the shout out track with all the collabs, which I love.
That's right.
That was awesome. Kind of like the Daft Punk roll call.
Yep.
With the break beat, it was awesome.
That was the idea. Was Daft Punk's Teachers.
Yes.
And I forgot there was another one. But like there are a few shout out tracks like this, and so I wanted to shout out everybody who collabed on the album, plus my buddy Adam, who I stayed with, and who he helped me a lot.
Right.
Just
So you did most of this album in San Francisco at their studios.
San Francisco,
Yeah.
LA,
Mhm.
and on the road, honestly, just anywhere.
Right.
On my laptop.
Right.
I sold all my gear. I have a laptop, and then I record, things in different studios. So it was like a very independently made album. Dirtybird definitely helped me with like mixing, especially the mixing process. Dirtybird, the facilities
Right.
were really great for that. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So what else does Sacha have cooking for the rest of 2026? Just dropped an amazing album. I'm sure there's going to be some tour dates to support the album.
Yeah. There will.
Are you done with music for this year? I would assume you just put out 22 songs.
I don't think so.
No?
I've started working on the next album.
All right, I love it.
Yep. And I have some third culture things that I'm working on, and some remixes, and we'll see where the journey goes.
Right.
Actually.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's good having you back. Again, the album Robotti on Dirtybird, really, really fresh, really cool vibes on it. 22 tracks, which I think is amazing. Thank you for coming on, man.
Of course. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Powertools.